Welcome back downtown Kansas City in the Power and Light District. They play the Big 12 tournament. That's the college basketball experience right around the corner of the T-Mobile Center. Chris Budden, Fran Fraschilla here with you all day. Time to talk about Cincinnati. Wes Miller in his fourth season there. Finished the season 22-15 overall, tied for 11th in the Big 12. They advanced to the quarterfinals of the NIT, and they return a lot. 6 of their top 8 scorers. Joining us now, Wes Miller. That's a nice little stat to have. You don't go picking too much out of the transfer portal, although you do add Dylan Mitchell from Texas, who's familiar with this league. Having that amount of scoring back and having that veteran presence, what does it free you up to do in the off season to focus on when you're not constantly out on the road recruiting?
Well, the retention was a massive piece for us. That was strategy number one. Let's get these guys that didn't have any experience in this league going into last year and now have all this experience, gain some wisdom. Let's get them back. We didn't get to relax because it took a lot of work to get them back because everybody was trying to get them. But they stayed for the right reasons. They believe in what we're doing at Cincinnati. They love the city of Cincinnati. They love the university. And then it was great because as we went into the transfer portal, we're not just adding guys that fit us. That's always number one, as Coach knows. We try to find guys that align with what we do. We added guys that fit around the returning guys, too. And so when I look at Dylan Mitchell and Connor Hickman and Arrington Page, they're impact guys, but they fit around those nucleus of players that returned.
When I look at your roster, my first thought is they've got 8 starters, 8 or 9. How, and that's a great problem, how do you integrate guys that have already had success at other places but are at Cincinnati, like you say, for the right reasons?
It's been a lot more fun to date, and we got to keep doing it every day because the returning players have helped integrate the incoming players.
Yeah.
And we have a freshman, Tyler Betsy, that I should mention, too, that you know how hard it is for freshmen to impact this league? He can impact this league. And so we have a number of guys, and there's some others we won't even mention here, so I'm not leaving them out. Those are the good problems. The returning guys have helped install our culture with the incoming guys. It's made my job a little easier. And listen, we're going to have to sacrifice some for the greater good. And I think our guys get that they're all going to win individually if we achieve what we can achieve as a team.
Jizzle James a year ago was one of those standout freshmen that with a lot of expectations as we got joining you on set. Mr. Bearcat, what have you seen from him over the offseason and his growth and development into a sophomore season?
He's growing at this incredibly fast rate like he did as a freshman. It's not surprising. He's the hardest working kid I've seen in the 20 years I've been involved in college basketball from freshman year through. And he's kept that going sophomore offseason into this preseason. It's not just the work on the court. Like, he gets the shots up and the reps. He's religious about film. He's trying to learn the game. He's making better decisions in our practices defensively. And he does some great stuff on the ball as a freshman. Off the ball, coach, he was a freshman. And he knows that.
Last year.
He's not a freshman anymore. He's poised to have a big-time year.
A guy that you and I talked about earlier today who plays with joy, Dylan Mitchell. He leaves Texas, comes here. I was so glad he stayed in the league because I just love watching him play.
Joy.
But what is his energy? How's he integrated himself just simply from the standpoint of the guys already knew how good he was?
It's interesting. His first week on campus, I had 4 or 5 of our players come up to me and say they couldn't believe how nice he was and how normal and down-to-earth he was because they looked at him. He was already an impact player in this league and has this big reputation. He walked through the door wanting to fit in with our guys. Shoot, sometimes I want him to be more aggressive, like I'm pushing his buttons. Don't fit in so much, go make plays. But it was really important to add an impact guy like him. He has experience in this league, which we liked. And he fits around those returning core guys. I mean, Coach, he can guard 5 positions. And I think he can play all 5 positions on offense, too. His versatility will be big for us.
He's also someone who just always has a smile on his face, and so we're glad he has stayed in the league.
Between him and Dan Skillings, they play games with joy. They practice with joy. Shoot, they walk around the building every day with joy. So they're the type of guys that lift the spirits of the team.
Your fan base having a lot of joy right now, too, because you guys sold out season tickets for the first time since 2019, 2020. How have you seen the excitement around the program build?
Yeah, I think Cincinnati always supports basketball. We're at a place they love it. Coach knows that. And the reasons for that happened long before I got there. The community of Cincinnati really is like a hard-working, blue-collar community. They appreciate people that invest in them. Having all these returning guys, I think our community loves that. I think our fans love that. And I think that they feel the energy that we're getting better as a program.
Who's a guy that's Arrington Page is a kid? I don't know how he's going to help you, but I thought to myself, he might be a guy that surprised people because he's got a lot of long-term upside.
He'll have a huge role on this team. I mean, he really will. Tyler McKinley is a freshman that we thought could really impact us in the front court. Went down with a season-ending injury, and will be great to get him back a year from now. But Arrington's going to have a massive role. His talent's exciting. He's a great kid. He's working. I think being in our environment's helped him. Don't just watch who he is in November and December, because he could be really good in February and March, but he'll be a guy for everybody to pay attention to.
Coach Miller, a lot of excitement around your team. Preseason rank number 20, first time since 2017, 2018. You guys have been ranked in the preseason in the AP poll.
Yeah, well, recognition's good, but I'm ready to get back to work. Yeah.
Coach, appreciate the time. We'll let you get back to work.
Thanks,
joining Hannah Simas Lukosius on our players set.
Chris, thank you very much. CMOS, the Bearcats are in the AP poll for the first time in 6 years. Why is this team worthy of being in those big national conversations?
I think the biggest reason for us is our continuity and how many players we returned from last year, especially nowadays in college basketball. That's rare. And not only that, but we also added some great pieces. You know, Dylan, Connor, AP, and our freshmen are really great. So I think, just the team we've been able to bring from last year is really what gets us so excited about ourselves.
You're one of the top 6 of 8 returning scorers to this team. How will that collective experience take the Bearcats to the next level?
We finished the year strong last year, and it felt like we really found something, and we really clicked. And I'm really glad that most of those players are coming back, and we're gonna get to continue developing together and keep that momentum going.
What is so special about that group of about 6 players you mentioned evolving together?
It's special because, I mean, we're Wes's guys. You know, he recruited us. He knows what we're about, and we all have the same values and the same. We want the same things for our team, and we're really the only thing we're concerned about is winning, and I think that's going to take us a long way.
Coach Miller said that this team will have a new style of play. What can fans expect on the court this upcoming season?
They can expect a lot better three-point shooting, more people who can space the floor and be a threat from beyond the arc, and they can expect us to play even faster and really make smarter decisions with the ball. And then we're going to be very, very long and athletic, and we're going to be a nightmare for other teams on defense.
A nightmare for other teams on defense. I like that. We have some highlights back here from last season. What is your number one point of growth from 2024 to 2025?
I would say the ability of me to get downhill and really stay on balance and stay strong with the ball and finish around the basket. I think that's something that I really worked on this summer, and hopefully it'll show this upcoming year.
This team did lose a lot of very, very tight and close games last season. What are you focusing on in practice to avoid that from happening?
A lot of our focus has been on focus, and I feel like we made a lot of mistakes, whether it's not executing the right play at the end or just missing free throws. That's been a really, really big point of emphasis from our coaching staff, and hopefully that's going to be a lot better next year.
CMOS, real quick, you've lived in 7 countries and you speak 4 different languages. How do you say thanks for your time and best of luck this season in Lithuanian?
You say Ačiū už jūsų laiką ir sėkmės sekantį sezoną.
I'm going to let you say that one, but I'm going to say also thank you for your time. Best of luck this season. Chris, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Fran, number 20 in the preseason AP poll.
Yep.
What is that a testament to?
Depth, veteran experience, terrific young coach. They've added some good pieces to a team that has 6 of the top 8 scorers. As soon as the season ended, Chris, and I saw them, in the NIT, close up after seeing him in the Big 12 right away, especially when they added Dylan Mitchell from Texas. I thought this was a top 25 team. And again, we can say that about 10 of these teams, how good they're going to be. But I really like this team, and I love what Coach Miller is building. Having coached in Ohio for 8 years, I know what the Cincinnati Bearcat tradition means. And I expect them to be a team that could get to an Elite Eight with some luck.
Here's what I think is interesting. I mean, Dylan Mitchell is a guy that we have seen for a while down in Austin of such a big program of the Texas Longhorns, and maybe could have played a lot of places and chose to play for Wes Miller at Cincinnati. Part of that because Wes Miller, we were talking, such a player's coach, but what he's building there was attractive to Dylan and wanting to go there.
You know, I've known Dylan since his freshman year at Texas. He was the number 4 recruit in ESPN's top 100, and everybody expected him to be one and done. He's not that yet, but what I love about this kid is that joy we talked about and his wanting to fit into a team that already has 6 of their top 8 scorers back. So happy to see him stay in the league, and he is a high-energy guy. I thought he had a fabulous year last year at Texas, and I was kind of disappointed that Texas let him go.
Yeah. All right.